Hello and welcome everyone, this is the VG Purist. I'll be coming at you with the 2018 Blood Bowl 2 World Cup, where we are finishing out the first round of action. And in the last bit, we saw some crazy plays coming out from Striker OT, but I guess that's just the way he lives, baby. We'll face off against the winner between Stringabell and Drick. So now, next up here, as you can see, will be the Khemri team taking on the Undead team of TheSage. But of course, let's just take a quick look around the league, what's going on. Or I should say in the World Cup. Ungern, the human team in the mirror matchup against Andy Z, is going to be winning it 2-0, and then Veliopia, living up to the Bashia's team, will be able to get the win there 2-1. And of course, TheSage moving on with the 1-0 victory with his Undead team over the humans. Mr. Light being the only Dwarven team, well, actually was the only Dwarven team making it past this first Dwarven team to make it through, and now Striker OD, the second Dwarf to make it past the first round, winning against the Skaven team of Chabaran, and then Grey Bumblebee, the Russian, the Necroman team winning it over the Wood Elf team, and Fufale 2-0 victory over Sango's Orc team, and then Eom, the Necroman team, taking out Notorious Noobs Wood Elf team. Thus far, any great coach that has played the Wood Elves against anyone has lost it, and you'll see what I mean just a second. Philadius with his Lizardman team will be able to take out a very dangerous Skaven team, and then the Proxy taking out Ducky with his Wood Elf team. There's going to be one of the upsets there, 2-1 here, and maybe not an upset per se, but one of those things where it was a little bit unexpected. 1-0 here for Sprinter's Dark Elf team over Buttuglies. Gnome Slayer, the Necroman team from the Xbox, and then the Wood Elf team of Wolf Bateson taking out a very dangerous Dwarf team of Adant, and then Tor 3005, the Chaos Dwarf team, just pulling out the victory by the end against the Norse team of the True Blue Al Bundy. 2-1 victory over Spartaco, a big upset there, and again another Wood Elf team from a notable coach taking the fall. Wentros Wood Elf team did win the mirror matchup against the other Wood Elf team of Chelsea Zola. Ever, the human team, the Aragon Storms, will be able to take out the Dwarven team, and Arzawane human team, 4-time Champions Cup winner, back to back on the PS4, winning it over the Dwarf team here. And then Yago 2-1 over the Necroman team with his Wood Elf team. Andy Davo moves on against Bernie Buffin, another hot PS4 coach, taking one down, and actually the only one being a little bit down for the count here on that 3-1 loss there. I would have thought that it would be a little bit closer than that. Cyro Cheese, thank you for that follow. Much appreciated there. Orden with his human team does take out the Wood Elf team, and then Jimmy Fantastic moves on with his Wood Elf team against Ashigal Dwarven team, which was quite difficult, and will face off against that man there. So here we go. This is the tough part here. We'll go ahead and put the challenge on there just in case you guys want to continue to follow along with all the action. Of course, I update it every single time I do a cast, and that may be the little bit of the difference there. So at least you'll be able to see it a little bit more in detail here than I think just about anywhere else. But yes, we are going to see the Khemri team playing against here let's go ahead and validate that match. And then let's go ahead and take a look here at what had happened between the Khemri team and Sage's Undead team. Of course, I have casted with Sage. I am one of the official broadcasters, so $3,000 coming for the first place winner, as well as a nice little gaming PC, $1,500 for the second place, $1,000 apiece for the third and fourth. All brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers. And not only that, with the help of Cyanide, Focus Home Entertainment, and Games Workshop. So the Khemri team, made of sand, coached by Vyncenze, taking on Odd Gravings, the Undead team of TheSage, where he had repeatedly said that, hey, did I tell you how much I hate Agility 3 teams? Well, I suppose he doesn't hate them that much because he's playing them now. But that's going to be one of those things where any great coach is able to play just about any team out there, and we'll be playing the Undead team thinking that, hey, this might actually be a good one to be had. Hopefully I don't meet up against somebody that picks a lot of guys with Mighty Blow, and Tomb Guardians with the Mighty Blows, 3 of them in fact, and then one of them with the guard ability. Heck, at this point he might as well have just taken Mighty Blow. One of those things in which a Tomb Guardian kind of needs on his game is to have those Mighty Blow for him. It definitely helps them out. But will be facing off against the Undead team, who they themselves have 5 strength personnel, but only 2 of them there. But could be the nice thing here, the equalizer will have guard on both of them, so we'll be able to not only get the hit in themselves, but also gonna help support the fellow whites that should be getting the attacks in. And not only that, maybe even the zombies will have all those zombies, and then just 2 ghouls for the Undead team. A little bit risky here. Quick snap. We're gonna have to allow that. We're gonna have to allow that comment from Darren. Yes, indeed. Vyncenze with made of sand. They may be made of sand, baby, but they are rock hard. just like Darren's cock. And now buckle up for the ride here again, chat. We are in for it. Saturday has been quite nice for Blood Bowl action. That's why we like playing Blood Bowl, and that's why we like watching Blood Bowl, for all of the crazy happenings that could just happen in the game. There, the Skellies will be taking the big hits up on the front line, but no worse for wear for any of those guys. Nicely done. And then the Undead team will get the blitz here on those Tomb Guardians, hopefully be able to break the armor, and then after that force the decay rolls coming out. And not going to be able to break the armor here. We'll just be able to get the blitz in and a little bit of a retreat, and then the ball will be picked up. Does have a sure hands ghoul, but again, he's only got 2 of them. And remember, in this World Cup tournament, this is single elimination. Not only that, but it is resurrection. Of course, in resurrection tournament, you won't be able to get any guys because we weren't having it to where you get cash in between each rounds. And so the thing here is you can't get any more positionals here if you don't get them in the first round. And there, just 2 ghouls instead of going with maybe 3 or maybe 4 ghouls. We'll instead have just 2, and this makes these ghouls quite susceptible to the attack and make them just a little bit more of a weakness. Johnny Cash gonna go out here with that foul, and Sage, wow, gonna do those fouls and won't be doing much else there, not yet at least, but did try to get the foul out on the TG lying on the ground. But we'll see his guy get fouled out, and that's okay though. Plenty of zombies to come in. This is kind of what the Sage is probably thinking about doing here. Forget the extra ghouls. I want the extra zombies so I can lay these hits in with the fouls with my zombies and try to get some additional personnel out. So I like this play coming out from the Sage. That will mean on this offensive series he may be down 1 or 2 guys, but I think after that foul out there, then he may just stop doing it. And the Khemri team here definitely needs to continue to try to use the Tomb Guardians to the max, get them a little bit based up with his guys and get in there with these hits. Of course, anyone helping him base up will get hit like that, and it's gonna be the Blissra. It's just gonna be a stun here on that hit, so he'll be back in just a bit. But now the Tomb Guardian sees a couple of juicy targets, but Sage's not gonna let him have those juicy targets whatsoever. Get the blitz out. Ooh, nice big roll there. Defender down on both the guy, and not only that, armor break. So here comes some injury dice. And just going to be a stun on the injury. Boy, it's going to be too bad here. Would have loved to seen a bigger injury coming out, but no problems here. Just going to get the stuns here on the left side. So now the left side's wide open to attack, as the Khemri team's going to have to go and move over to the left side and cover that up a little bit. Otherwise, this will be quite an easy touchdown. You don't, sure the touchdown happens, but you don't want to make it easy. You don't want to make it easy. I don't want to talk about what's going on in chat here because maybe some spoilers, so we're just going to leave it alone, guys. But you guys carry on there. One die blitz coming out. Since he's got agility 2, can just only hope for these blocks to come out well, just to at least get the push, and it does. So the push away works on the one die blitz away, and keeping the Khemri team clear of any danger. Also, you don't want to spoil the result. Don't you guys do that now. There's the side cage coming out from TheSage. Obviously not a VGP watcher, otherwise he would know just how much I hate this side cage. But against the Khemri team, without anyone with agility 4 or any stunty or anything like that to help them, this does work out okay-ish. But of course, as I have pointed out many a times before, you get the blitz over the top with your blitzer up, with tackle even, and get him down, and get him down good. But there we go, Tomb Guardian, or Mummy I should say, gets the blitz off and continues to get the base on him, so it's not going to make it easy for that blitzer to come on through here with that blitz over the top, like I said before, and try to pin that ghoul on the sideline. The side cage. The side cage. But there is going to be the one die block coming out, and we'll be able to push that mummy away. So here comes the blitz with the blitzer, with the tackle, and the mighty blow. And we'll get the defender down die on the armor 7. Hopefully be able to get some armor breaks, and he does. And just going to be a stun, but as I said before, right there, automatically, you just stunt up the side cage right there, and then after that you put another guy perhaps right here to base the other guy up, and now what? And that's just kind of what I'm talking about. But fortunately here for the Undead team, there really isn't that many guys that can get back there without a 4+ dodge happening. But nice big hit. But the regeneration, that is the nice thing about playing either the Undead or the Necromancer team. Both of them with that regeneration, no need to spend money on the APO, and therefore you're able to get a couple of extra zombies to come in and play for you. And there's the 4+ dodge away from the Skelly to try to pin up the side cage. But as I said before, this might not be too bad against the Khemri team, who won't be able to reposition themselves so easily due to everyone having agility 2 or less. And there's a push coming out from the white, and with that, likely going to maybe get this surf out. He's tempted. I know he's tempted here, but can he do it? I think he does. Yes, he's going to do it. He's going to absolutely do it. He cannot pass this up. Will get the surf in. And after the reroll, will get the surf in. And now TheSage is down to just one reroll after trying pretty hard to get it out. Yes, indeed, Juanian. And yeah, and of course, even if you did have the agility 4 and stunty, you don't want to blitz the ball carrier if you can help it. Just the top corner, and that's all you really need to do. Good point out there. And of course, that is definitely the more solid and better way to play. But just saying that it is out there. And there's the block coming out, but unfortunately, gonna get a little bit nuffled there. And will get down on that mummy, but now the backside might be a little bit open here. We may see a 1 die block coming up here if we can help it. Looks like he can. The 2 die is going to come out, and then it's going to be an open blitz here, and then might actually put some right into the hands of the thrower, if anything. And then may actually be able to surf this ball carry out thereafter. Tomb Guardian might get surfed himself a little bit, but the ball will be out. There's the hit in. Defender stumbles. That's not good enough, but as I said before, he is in range now for the 2-die block coming out for the surf. And yes, it is. So the ball will come out. Sage. Whoa. And not only that, injury coming out from the ghoul. And wow, the Sage getting a little greedy there. And wanted to get that surf out, but the ball carrier in a quite a precarious position will pay for the greed. And not only that, Tomb Guardians are going to be able to mark it up. Luckily though, no follow-up. And the ball is just simply out. But the Undead team with just one more ghoul left on the pitch. And he's down on the ground. He can't even get there to actually get that ball, I don't think. Maybe he will. Maybe he will, but he'd have to go through hell and high water to get there. And indeed, Sage, wow, with the greeds, did pretty much allow it to happen. But here comes the 2 red die uphill to at least unmark the ball. And it's going to have to do some crazy dodges. The 4+ dodge. And not going to do the 3+ dodge to get there as well here. Oh boy, oh no, that's the blue on the other side of the ball here. That's the, that is gonna be, I guess maybe he's going out for the pass. Maybe the white's gonna pick it up, but the ball is still gonna continue to be on the ground now as the Tomb Guardian will get surfed, but the ball is out, and that's gonna be the nice thing as the Khemri team will likely move his guys in. He is in slightly better position and will likely try to get the throw route over there for the ball pickup, but this is not going to be an easy pickup whatsoever, especially if he doesn't get this ghoul down. But ooh, more surfs here. I like that. He's like, forget the ball, guys. Let me hit this other ghoul and KO. So both of the ghouls are out, and they're the ball carriers really for the Undead team. And now only the white can hold the ball, I guess. But that's not too bad as well. They have the inherent block skill, but oh boy, it's going to get pummeled by the hit there. And luckily the injury is just going to be some stuns and going to re-roll the 2-die block coming from the Tomb Guardian after getting a little bit 1-9. And now will clear the ball. Skelly, he's going to go in for the pickup. I suppose why not on the 4+. They're all going to be 4+ pickup rolls no matter which way you slice it. But the ball will still continue to be on the ground. But now who will pick this ball up, especially when both of the whites are down for the count. And I guess a zombie might have to do it, but they're out of position. Except for this zombie, he might be able to get there. But the both down die on the 1-die block. And will actually get down the Mighty Blow Tomb Guardian instead. So a little bit better on that exchange right there. So Mummy outlasting the Tomb Guardian on that hit. Who is the better Undead? And right now it's looking like the Mummy. Just 2 more Tomb Guardians left on the pitch, but the Khemri team may have done just enough to stifle this touchdown. That's all you could really hope for. Khemri team, one of the nice things about playing them is that it's pretty tough to get by them, but once you do, then the Khemri team, it's hard to play catch up to get back into this game. If he falls too far behind. Defender stumbles after the re-roll, and that is good thus far. The big guys in the front line, it's been winning here for the Mummies. Just getting that armor break on the Mummy. And here comes finally the thrower. He will go and try to pick this ball up on the 4+, but this time with the sure hands re-roll, but no, not gonna get it here. And unfortunately won't get that ball pick up on the 75%. Ouch. I'm rooting for this Khemri team to make it, but of course in my preliminary prediction I did say I like the Sage to win. I mean, there's still a Khemri team with 2 agility or less. And not only that, whoa, it's gonna actually dodge away after the crazy 2 red die block against the Mummy, gets the push, and now he has a chance to maybe get the touchdown by the end. Wow, how ballsy is that? I love it. Khemri team is now going to have to face a blitz on the white. And this is not going to be an easy blitz whatsoever. A 2-die blitz coming out, likely from the guy without the block. But it is going to come from the Tomb Guardian with the mighty blow. And it is going to be a 3-die blitz, but just going to be a push on all that dice. Holy crap, getting a couple of skulls on top of it, so I had no choice but to take the push. And is going to run back here with the Skelly. And that's just to cut off the left side. Doesn't matter if he gets a little bit surfed there. Just wants to make it to where he has to hold it for one more round, but he can't because it is going to be turn 8 and Sage needs to score it now. And how is he going to do it? He's going to have to do something quite risky now to get that ball into the touchdown. Maybe he can get the blitz off here and then make the dodge away. Yeah, I think that's going to be the only play. Make the blitz, and then after that, yes, he's got it. And then it's just the GFIs now. Just the GFIs now. No need to dodge away if that didn't work out. Well, in fact, he did just the push even would have worked out. So no dodge necessary. Yeah, no dodge whatsoever needed. So the Undead team 1-0 on that. Wow. Wow. You think that he is going to be stoppered up and then suddenly finds a way. The skeleton, unfortunately, gave him a little bit of avenue, but had to put the skeleton there for the 1-die blitz there, and unfortunately, boy, just going to be absolutely making it away. Nice little first half coming out where the Sage, the greed roll surf, ends up really biting him, but ends up actually just using up the rest of the rounds. And hey, all part of the plan, guys. What are you talking about? I knew what I was doing. Wow. Well, here comes the Khemri try. And this is just going to be some bashes here. But just in case there's a riot or anything, then the Undead team will be in just position. Oh, but there is a riot. Khemri team. And will actually have nobody to go pick that ball up because the Khemri team was just expecting to just bash into the end of the first half and then go in for the whatever locker room hype. So, wow, a little bit too bad there. So, I guess after these 3 hits, the thrower I might actually move back there to try to get to the ball and then do a crazy 6+ dodge. I mean, a 6+ pass into the other thrower where he's likely gonna be supported by his guys for perhaps a 2-turn touchdown. So Vyncenze with a chance. And that's a bit of a huge loss there. He's not even gonna attempt to pass. He's like, forget it, guys. I'm done. I'm done with what I see here as they go into the locker room 1-0. Little bit too bad there. Both team gain a turn, and then after that they're like, okay, I'm done. Sage is like, okay, I concur. And then done deal. Wow. Well, now it is going to be the Khemri team's possession half, and this is what I hate about playing the Khemri team the most. You really want to play defense in the first half, so that in the offensive side of the ball, then it maybe be 0-0. But 1-0, and you're kind of fighting a little bit uphill. But no problem with the mighty blow Tomb Guardians. You should be able to pave the way for your throw, and then just really beat up the other team and roll your way through. Unfortunately, though, it is facing off against the Undead team with Regeneration. And not only that, but a pair of mummies with 5 strength. So it's not as easy to get these hits in. They're still able to get these hits in, don't get me wrong, but it's just going to be one of those things where the Khemri team probably didn't want to see this Undead team. Likely wanted to face off against humans. Really wanted to face off against humans, I can tell you that much. Or even the Dwarven teams. Or, heck, a lot of other teams, I'll tell you that much. Just not an Undead team like this. Tomb Guardians need to come through in a big way. The Blitzra has Mighty Blow and needs to activate, and it does. Look at that. It's my singing, guys. It helped. Regeneration, though, we'll save that. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the Undead team play here. The injuries are happening, and it's taking out the other team, but it's not necessarily taking them out for good. And so even if the Khemri team ends up scoring, goes into overtime, still faces off against a full team on the other side. The Khemri team would love to just grind down the other team to nothingness, to a little bitty stub. Or a nub, I should say. And then after that, just win the game due to the attrition. But attrition is not going to be how he's going to win today's game. It's going to have to be with a little bit of luck, because this will, if he gets the injury, get into the overtime period. He's not going to score the ball anytime soon. But the big hit on the Skelly, that is the thing here with this Khemri team. If they don't get the bashes out and then suddenly they get bashed, the armor 7, even despite the thick skull, you get a good enough roll there, and it doesn't even matter that they have thick skull. They're just going to go out straight away. So one of those things where the Khemri team could get out bashed themselves if they're not too careful. Absolutely Johanian missing out on the unexpected 2-2 turn with no reroll. Yeah, big loss. But Beazle here says, hey, look, I did it once, and I still feel guilty when I think about it. Love that. World Cup action. First round. And thus far, we have seen some ups and downs and some big upsets here. Lots of guys going out unexpectedly. Spartago looked so good in his match. First round action. Just couldn't get away from Nuffle. Just could not get away from him. This is one of those things where that's Blood Bowl, baby. Khemri team, though, trying to push the ball up. Trying to follow his Tomb Guardians to the ends of his days. As he continues to try to push the ball up, and he needs to try to get these injuries out. But of course, Undead team, other things on his mind as he gets these injuries out. But just gonna be the stun and the injury coming out. Actually gonna save the KO on the thick skull. Pretty good stuff, hey? Skelly's thick skull, it works. Khemri team, though, not too many options when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. You really just gotta continue to push up, hope for the armor breaks, and make it a little bit more easier on yourself. But I have played the Khemri before, and it's come to a point where more times than not it ends up being a 4+ dodge in for a touchdown or something similar, or maybe ending up with the 1-die block or something with your skeleton to hopefully open things up and then be able to march on through. So one of those things in which the Khemri team really would love to get the +1 to the agility, if he wants to make it. Oh, gonna get the both down dive right there. Gonna get 1 in 9 once again, but won't be 1 in 81. And so there is gonna be the hit and the surf out. And as I've said before, Khemri team really needs to whittle down the other side if he hopes to make this an easier try. Right side, just a little bit open, but I think the thing about this is that Khemri team wants to move the ball a little bit right and then get the Undead team to kind of commit a little bit more to the right, maybe leaving his Tomb Guardians here to the left, and then he follows those guys behind. One of those things here, the Khemri team almost always have to be moving the ball up, unlike, say, the Orc or Dwarves, where they would just want to bash their way and then move the ball. It's one of those things where the Khemri should just continue to move the ball whenever possible, because you just never know when the opening will be there or not. And that's just one of those things where you need to be in position at any point in the game to be sure you'll be able to capitalize. Earlier today, guys, if you've missed it, I did play a match with my Underworld team. And boy, what an absolute shit show. And yeah, well, there's the blitz coming out for the backside and does find an opening for the white to jump on through, but not gonna get paid off on the block here and actually failed the GFI. So the reroll had to come out on the GFI roll and not on the 2-die blitz. A bit unfortunate. Had a high chance of taking that out, but not gonna be getting the payoff. So this Khemri team, a little bit of an opening there made by this Undead team for the blitz. Nicely done by the Sage. Again, Sage living up to his name. It's gonna give this Khemri team as much of a difficult time as possible. And here's gonna be one of those things for the defense. You just get in range, mark that ball carrier up, and suddenly that's going to be a good way of just stifling the offense. As I said before, Khemri team pretty much always wants to have that ball moving as much as possible, just so that he has a chance at the touchdown. You haven't felt guilty in years. I miss sex. Come on now, you don't feel guilty when you know, spank one off? But if you win the World Cup, hookers and blow, baby! Oh yeah! Love that, Duran. See, you need to put this on record, you know, and then you can be a meme too. You're one of those guys in, you know, How I Won the Lottery and Lost It All. The Undead team, though, trying to play some solid Blood Bowl action, likely trying to get the blitz here. Or actually, we'll get the ghoul over there to get the mark on the ball after the blitz with the mummy. And unfortunately, going to KO him, and that again is a really bad deal because the ghoul, no regeneration on him, but luckily just a KO roll. But it's one of those things where just 2 ghouls for the match makes this game a little bit more difficult. Sure, the Undead team, loads of zombies to come in, and hell, I believe he even took a skeleton as well for the fouls, and there you go. But it's just one of those things where perhaps he could have went for a 3rd ghoul here just to make things a little bit better for the ball carrying. They do have that 7 movement allowance, and they're such good ball carriers that you kind of can't go without the ghouls. You leave the whites for the bashes as you should. Here comes the 2-die on the ever-present man with the... not on the Tomb Guardian, I'm mixing them up. On the mummy, that is going to be marking up the ball carrier. And we'll be moving it up. Right side is a little bit open there. And if the Tomb Guardians can try to get a screen over the top, That would be quite nice. Quite nice. And not only that, the ghoul going out for the undead team is that was the guy that was just putting the threats in and making it quite impossible for the Khemri team to really move the ball reliably. There's the hit in. And the Sage trying to get the white into better position. Actually puts them out there for the safety. And gonna do a 2 red die block on the Tomb Guardian. Again with the block. White, but this time gonna spend the last reroll here from the bank. And just to get the 2 red die block out. So a bit interesting because he did end up following this block. So the biggest interesting about that is he's still gonna get hit in. He's still gonna get hit by the Tomb Guardian. So I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. I guess he wanted to just hit him down, but the white is still in range to get bashered. And then after that, another 2 die block on the mummy. Escort is there on the right side. The Khemri team looking like he's gonna score it. You're absolutely right, Eisenwolf. That was, I mean, when you go for that type of thing, it's like, I guess it was already in the books that he was going to reroll that, but that's one of those things where you would think that the Sage would think about it and say, okay, if I do this 2 red die block, will I reroll it if I don't get, if I do get the skull or the, well, just the skull because this is the white. So if I get the skull, will I reroll it? And the answer has to be no. I've only got 1 reroll left, but there it just seems like I'm shooting from the hip. I'm gonna do the 2 red die block, and he saw it go bad, and he's like, nope, I'm not gonna live with that, and rerolled it just for the push. Of course, there you go. No more rerolls left, and of course, Undead team will get nuffled there on yet another block right here, and suddenly the Khemri team is sprung. Just like that. And of course, Vyncenze, he's going to feel happy about this one. He's going to be able to basically walk in for the touchdown. And this is so easy. Lots of times when you're playing Khemri, like I said before, on the offensive side of the ball, it's just not easy to get touchdowns. I'll tell you what. But sometimes it's like the opponent is giving it to you, and right there, it's almost like a present. As I've said before, Johanian, I did make several teams out. I was actually going to try to do a World Cup thing where I was going to go over each and every team with skills, but then I thought to myself, you know what, since I can see what the teams do look like, it may actually be one of those things where, because, you know, they had to tell me their teams in messages so that they can't change their teams when the seeding comes out, right? So I just felt like some of the teams that I would have made would have been the same teams that these other guys have made. There's going to be the crazy dodge out with the 1 agility dodge out for the 5+. And there you go. The Khemri team makes it all too easy. But I did still make some teams, Johanian, and I looked at it, and of course and I've been saying this is, look, just play your favorite teams. Just play the teams that you're comfortable with, because there's no real heavy answer. Sure, Wood Elves and humans look good for this format, but you know, I'm not extremely comfortable playing the humans, and I would rather die than play the Wood Elf team. So it's one of those things where, okay, so then, alright, my favorite team, Dark Elves. Well, it's a little bit uncomfortable, and sure, I could make it work, but I end up doing with 2 rerolls, and we all know how much Nuffle hates me, so I don't know if I could live with just going with 2 rerolls. And so then I would have to take leader on my runner and maybe get 3 rerolls, but then I would be a little bit more susceptible to attack no AP. I don't know. So this is one of those things where, okay, Dark Elves out the window. And then my second favorite team, Skaven team. So then I thought to myself, boy, Skavens, they look a little bit better, and I kind of like this. I can get my 4 gutter runners, and if I wanted to, get a rat ogre. But the way I like to play Blood Bowl is just get the quick Skaven team with the 4 gutter runners. I don't necessarily need the rat ogre, although it is kind of nice to maybe fight up against the dark elf teams, and I mean not dark elf teams, but the dwarf teams, and you know, even this Khemri team right here are undead teams. So the rat ogre would have been nice for that, but I lightly would have went with the 4 gutters and the blodge on one, the Raj on the other, and then the thrower would block, and just to defend against the wood elf war dancers, and then I would have gotten the tackle on the storm vermin to start. So that would have been my team right there. And I was pretty tempted to take the dark elves, but my team would have been, all right, a 1 witch elf team with 4 blitzers and the runner, where the runner would need to take either leader, like I said, and then the witch elf with wrestle. The witch elf with wrestle. My 1 witch elf would wrestle for sure. And then 1 blitzer with blodge, another blitzer with the tackle, and then and then of course the runner with the leader ability, or maybe even thinking about the nervous steel, or maybe the accurate. But I think I would have taken the leader in this format for the runner, just so that I make sure that Nuffle doesn't hate me in that game. You're right about that, and of course that's the way that Andy Davo had went with his Dark Elves. Just go blodge on just about all of his blitzers, and I like that. But unlike him, I'm not as beautiful with the positioning, and so one of those things in which I just kind of hope for the best so that my line rats don't die. I'll be able to have 2 extra line rats as well because I didn't go with the rat ogre, and then I would have the 3 rerolls with the APO. So my rats, even though they would have been going down, at least I would have rats like coming out the woodwork like they do. Overtime period, and Odd Gravings, the undead team, will be getting the ball. So overtime period, 1-1, and TheSage is going to have the advantage going in. But can he make it past a very staunch Khemri defense? It will be quite difficult, to say the least. And now the mummy on this left side going to continue to stay KO'd, along with the ghoul as well. So undead team's offense is going to be down to what, just 10 people on the pitch, even despite having all those zombies and the skeleton. He's going to be down to 10. And that is the nice thing. But of course the Khemri team had to play against a undead team, and regeneration worked out, I believe, 2 times during this match. So heck, the undead team, that if it would have been just about any other team without the regeneration, at least he would have been down 1 more guy and without a huge bench. But that is the nice thing about playing the undead here, is that you're able to take a lot of zombies to start the game and still be able to continue to get the 3 rerolls and able to get just about all your positionals. Yeah, here you may have to go in there with 2 ghouls or whatnot, but at least you'll be able to have pretty much a normal team, quote unquote. The quick snap. And that is kind of nice. So they're able to kind of reposition his guys. I love how the animation right now is syncing up right there, and they're just like dancing, really. Look, they're in sync, guys. It's tearing up my heart. Oh no. Okay, well now they moved. Oh, they're still moving in unison, guys. They're dancing. But as you see there, the ghoul continues to stay out. And of course, the white has to be the ball carrier, because they're the only guys left with the 3 agility. Unless they end up being Khemri with 2 agility. Oh, zombie with the big hit. But just a stun here. white is gonna be the main ball carrier. Gonna leave this other white up there. I guess it really makes no difference, but it's one of those things here. Tackler or no, he's just gonna be thinking about using him for the hits and not necessarily for the ball carrying. There we go. Nice hits here. And of course, for the Skaven team, if I would have won my first game, I would have lightly put the guard on the other Storm Vermin. Then again, I could get a mutation, couldn't I? Claw! What am I talking about? Yes! No, it just depends on who am I playing next. But the pickup fail. Oh. Well, luckily though, Undead team is not playing against a high movement allowance, high agility team, so this pickup failed. Not a big deal. He will get pressure though afterwards, so the Blitzer coming around just to put a little pressure on the ball carrier. Overtime period. This is it, boys. Will we see disaster, or will we see some fine play coming out? Khemri team will get the answer, or will give the answer. We're gonna make this exciting. Get these hits in, get these injuries out, and not only that, pressure this ball carrier. Undead team down to what, 8 people on the pitch, I do believe. It is 9 people. 9 people on the pitch. 9 undead on the pitch against the full complement of this Khemri team. Well, maybe not. He did get the KO earlier, so looking like, but they're still going to be outnumbered though, a little bit. There we go. Both down die on the blitz. Unfortunately, it doesn't take down the Blitzer. And of course, if you're the Khemri team, you're used to doing 4+ dodges, right? I mean, is this going to be one of those things where it's life? C'est la vie. Both down die coming out. Skelly will take a little bit of the worst of that with the injury coming out, but just a stun. But no problem here. Khemri team sees the zombie down, and that cuts down on this right side movement. And we're all about the movements. And here's the move here, and gonna get the 3-die block coming out. I like that, so you don't get nuffled. And there's a nice one here, KO. Might as well be an injury, because now this Undead team, count 1 chicken, you count 1 less chicken, and it's like there's a wolf in the den. And there we go, gonna get more injuries coming out. Khemri team living up to the bashy ways. Very good play coming out from Vyncenze. Very risky to play this Khemri team in the World Cup, but just opting to go with them and really proving that, look, I can definitely play with this Khemri team. So Vyncenze choosing to go Khemri and getting a little bit of a bad draw there. Going against an Undead team with a huge bench, but still managing to whittle them down. And not only that, now he's threatening the ball carrier. There's the blitz coming out. The nice thing here with doing it with doing the ball carrying with the white is that he's got the block, so he can get those blitzes out without too much scare. And there you go, you will use the both down die to take down the thrower in front of him, and not only that, get the stun on him, and that will end all the movement. Ooh, there we go, Mummy gives just as much as he gets, and there is a big injury coming out. No regeneration, but that doesn't matter. And the white coming out to try to square away the sides, but unfortunately, he will falter on that dodge. And that could be a opening here. Here is the 2-die block given for the zombie, and may end up with the 1-die blitz. Doesn't have block though, but still, it is a chance. And all we need is a chance. So there we go. Gonna do it with the TG. I like this play instead, because then the TG, even if he gets a push, then he'll be a big bone in the side, or actually standing right in front of that white and make things difficult. But instead, it does get the defender down die. Beautiful. And of course, Khemri team not wanting to pick that ball up anytime soon, but will continue to mark this ball up and make things quite impossible. Just needs to happen here. I don't know if it's a. I don't want to watch. I'm trying not to do any repeat type of race matchups. So if there's like human versus dwarves, then I'm not gonna do it, because I've already done a couple of them already. So I'm not gonna be covering any race, these team races that are going to be repeating themselves. That's kind of why I'm doing Undead versus Khemri, and then in that last game, the only reason why I wanted to take a look at a dwarf team was because he had a death roller. So, and plus I seen the first few rounds and I already knew that it was going to be an exciting match. But one of those things where I just want to cover interesting teams. And at this point, and them playing so late in the week, I'm not going to be able to cover everybody. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can, definitely. But in the end, boy, covering, what, 32 games? Oh, boy. That is a big ask, guys. I think I've already done half of them already and posted them up on YouTube. Tomb Guardians, yes, will make their presence known. And not only that, going to be marking the ball up 3 ways. And will actually have a nice shot at getting the ball pick up pretty soon if these Tomb Guardians don't fall down first. Mummy will get hit down with the blitz, trying to maybe get the armor break out and then maybe get the movement afterwards. That's why he didn't follow up. But because he just fell down, will move up so that it's not an easy 2-die block. But here comes the push into the ball for the scatter. Must do them all during, no. Well, you know, we'll see. Big hits there. Don't forget they got get the ref on one of those kickoffs. So we'll have the bribe for this match, and the bribe will be accepted. The dodge away from the white, trying to maybe mark the ball up. I don't know if he was going to go for the pickup. He may have been going for the pickup. This is round 21, and Sage is going to be down 1 reroll. And if anything, the Khemri team wants to hold on here. Oh, no, not 1 reroll. Why am I seeing 1 reroll there? Oh, it's because he has the bribe. So it's no rerolls on either side. And of course, if you can help it, you don't want to go into kickoff penalties because it's basically 50-50 at this point. There's the hit in, the scatter once again. That's going to be great for the Khemri team. Just needs to get the blitz out, and the thrower. He's in the backfield waiting to get the ball pick up, but they're going to get 1 and 9 there. Unfortunately, oh boy. Terrible moment here for the Khemri team. Had a chance to scoop that ball up, but it is now going to be the Undead team's turn. That, my friends, is just too bad. Undead team. This is absolutely such a Khemri team. You're right about that, Hiroshia. But this is definitely one in which the Khemri team needed it to be. There's the hit coming out there. The foul also coming in. Wants to take out some of these personnel. And the foul is not going to be one that will be withheld. will get the foul off on the thrower. And that is great. That reduces the chances here for this Khemri team to pick that ball up. But here's going to be the hit into the ball once again to scatter it. Ball does get scattered, but in the wrong direction, in the left direction. And the ball is going to continue to be in the way. Oh boy. This is not going to be an easy pickup. Already it's a 4+ pickup. You can't pick it up against Tax Zone. Oh, that's the difference here. Do you want to just get the 5+ pickup? Or do you just want to continue to try to mark this ball up? Tomb Guardians doing the job of surrounding that ball and continue to try to make it to where the Undead team doesn't have a chance, and they don't really. But here the thrower moves up. He's the only man that can pick the ball up here, but 2 more turns left to play. At least the ball is going to be on the side of the Undead team, and so the Khemri team may be able to win it in regulation. There's the blitz coming out, clearing the blitzer. And not only that, going to continue to try to mark the thrower, as well as getting in front of the faces here of the other Tomb Guardian. Make it to where he can't do much, but there's going to be yet another 2 red die block. And there's another 2 red die for the Seraph, but unfortunately, not going to get paid off here. And that is great for the Khemri team, because now there's going to be only 3 people marking this ball up. And he is going to see the blitz, and again, the scatter coming out will be at defender stumbles. And should just be walking in there. Hopefully the scatter is a little bit better, and it is, but it's still not perfect for a Khemri pickup. But at this point, you might as well just try it, because it is turn 23, turn 24 coming up. And with 24 coming up, the Undead team won't actually have a chance at this touchdown. It's up to the Khemri team. So he needs to try this 5+. And he gets it with the dodge away. But unfortunately, he gets the 5+ pickup, but not the 4+ dodge. And oh boy, that right there. Had he been able to dodge away, then he would have been... It would have been hard. They still would have had to dodge away for the blitz with the white, but... only maybe would have just needed to survive a 1-die blitz. And without reroll, that would have been quite difficult. But now, with that guy going down, this is it. I don't even think there is going to be a touchdown try whatsoever for the Khemri team. So this is going into penalty kickoffs, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, in the kickoff penalty overtime, basically what happens is that you roll a d6, whoever misses first, and the other one makes it on the same round, and that's the key word, on the same round, then whoever misses it and whoever makes it will win the game. Not only that though, rerolls do play a factor. You get a +1 for each reroll that you get, and it doesn't even matter if you spend it on the kickoff or not. I don't know if you've ever been in the penalty kickoff situation. The reroll is just in your face like, click me, but it doesn't matter if you click it or not. And I did get word from the actual developers themselves, and they said that it doesn't matter if you click it, it is all going to be automated at this point. So the first kick rolling quite good. Vyncenze does make the first kick, and again, if the Undead team misses it now, then the Khemri team will win. But if he makes it, then we could continue on to the round 2 of kicks. So he does make it. Both big guys, pretty good with not just their fists, but also with their feet. And he will get the penalty kick here. Tomb Guardian, he's going to try for the kick, but it's wide right. And now, at this point, the Undead team needs to make the kick. If he doesn't make it here, then he will go into a round 3. So he needs to make it, and it's good. Undead team wins it on the 50-50, where the Khemri team looked just so dominating throughout this game. Sage just finding the touchdown at the end of the first half, and then in the second half, Khemri team outbashing the Undead team to death, and was able to basically just walk it in. Even in the overtime period, defense was just so prolific, just so good and precise from Vyncenze, but unfortunately, paying Khemri team there's no agility 3, and I really feel like to bounce maybe the Khemri team, just give agility 3 to the throwers, and that's all that's necessary. If they would have that, that would have been just such a different game. But unfortunately, Khemri team fails because agility 2. 21 armor breaks though did help out the Undead team. and did get loads more. Did get loads more KOs on the. But no, I'm sorry. More armor breaks coming out from the Undead team, but loads more KOs being inflicted on the Undead team. So a difference here that there was a whole bunch more stuns coming out, but not a lot of injuries for the Undead. But the Khemri team doing what they do the best, getting those injuries out, getting the KOs, and taking out the other side and whittling them down. But Undead team pretty much well prepared for it. A whole bunch of zombies to come in with the skeleton for the fouls even, and even though at the overtime period was able to outnumber the other side, they just couldn't convert. They just couldn't convert. And yes, of course, even though the Khemri team was made of sand, they were absolutely rock hard. Just couldn't take the ball out. Of course, there on the D6s, I can see they're a little bit more weighted heavily on the ones, but all the rest of the stuff was looking pretty good there. Odd Gravings, Undead team, also lots of ones on today's match, but the block dice, I think, being a little bit more on the difference. And there it is, 28 defender down die compared to 19. In fact, this is such a low margin right there. I think the third highest here. So pretty good stuff here. That's pretty good stuff. Just to get 19 skulls on the block dice. And made of sand though. Oh boy. Look at all those skulls, and even with all of this here, they were still able to make it into quite a game. Quite a game. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets now, guys, and we will see what is going to be the next match, guys. Of course, if you haven't already, definitely hit that follow button. Definitely helps me out in the long run. And of course, if you like what you see here after the fact on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and like my videos. Oh boy, more Blood Bowl action to come. World Cup here. Oh man, just about all the World Cup here. I mean, when I say just about. But let's see here. Let's see who we want to see next. I didn't even plan this out. I just started casting and then that's it. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and validate that matchup. Let's see here. Undead versus humans. Nah. Let's see here. Undead. Undead versus what else? Nah. I don't see that either. Okay, Amazon team. Human versus human. Nah. I'm gonna see the Amazon team here. Amazon team taking on the High Elf team. That's what we're gonna do next, and that will be the last game for tonight. So we haven't seen Amazons play, and so we will in just a moment. Let me just take a quick little break here as we are going to be moving on to the final rounds of action. I believe a lot of people are going to be playing on Sunday just to cap things off. But we will take on the Amazon team, Queenies Queens, taking on the B&T Old Timers coming up next. But let me just take a quick little stretch and I'll be right back. Don't you guys go away. I'll see you guys for some more Blood Bowl World Cup 2018 action.